All right, welcome back, friends. I am so glad to have you here today. And I am also so excited for the lesson that I have planned for today. It's going to be super, super fun. So, as usual, you're going to go to the classwork tab on our Google Classroom. And I'm just going to give you a little rundown of what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so as you can see right here, our lesson is going to be over parts of a flower, which I'm really excited about. So, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on step one, engage. And you are going to watch this video right here. It's going to be a super fun little video, a little song about the different parts of a plant. And then after you watch that, you're going to go right on down here to step two, explore. And I wrote the instructions here for you. So the first thing you're going to do in this step two is you're going to click right here on this Google Slides. Okay. And I'm just going to show you really quick what I have going on here. I've got a couple of pictures for you. Oh, if it loads. Okay, there are two different slides actually of pictures that I just want you to look at and kind of explore those pictures and just think about what you're seeing, okay? And then once you've looked at those, you're going to come back, you're going to click on our brainstorming slide, and then we're going to wait for that to load. And then once you get here, I want you to double click onto one of these sticky notes, and I want you to write one thing that you noticed about the pictures of the flowers and the plants that you saw in the slideshow that I just showed you. So I did an example for you right here, and I noticed that all of the pictures have green leaves. And then after you put something that you notice, I want you to put something you wonder. So here's my example of that. I said, I wonder if all plants have green leaves. Okay, yours doesn't have to be the same as mine. It can be anything that you noticed and anything that you wonder about the pictures that you saw in the examples. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our Google Classroom. And after you finish your brainstorming sticky note, you're done with step two, and we're going to go right on to step three. So, step three, explain. You're going to click right here on this slideshow that I've got for you. And in this slideshow, I'll show you in just a second, I have gone in and explained every part of the plant. Okay, but you're going to need your science journal for this because as you go through this PowerPoint, there's going to be instructions on the slides that's going to tell you to do things in your science journal. Let me show you an example. So right here, here's our first part of the plant, the roots. And as you see right here, it says at the bottom of your page, draw some roots and label them. So you're going to have your science journal with you. And as you're going through the slideshow and looking at all of this information, you're going to be drawing a little picture in your science journal and you're going to be labeling it whenever I tell you to label it. Okay? So let's go back. So that's step three. After you do that, after you have gone through our slideshow and you've drawn in your picture and you've labeled your picture, you're going to move on to step four. And step four is really, really fun. Step four, elaborate. You get to make your own flower. It's going to be so much fun. What I want you to do is I want you to look around your house and I want you to find any kind of materials that you have already available to you. That can be newspaper, straws, leaves from outside. It can be markers, crayons, yarn, anything that you have at your house. That's what you can use. Okay? And with those materials, you're going to build your own model of a flower. Okay, now be sure that whenever you build your model of your flower, you label each of the parts that we talked about today. That's going to be the parts that are in that slideshow that I just showed you. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have a flower, a stem, leaves, and roots. Okay, and if you kind of forget the instructions, I've got an example right here for you. Perfect, right there. Doesn't have to look like this. It can be any materials that you have around your house, but just make sure you've got all the parts of the flower and everything labeled, okay? So that's step four. Next up, we have step five. And in step 5, this is going to be at 2:30 today. See right here, I said 2:30. At 2:30 today, you are going to click on this Zoom link and we're going to have a meeting where you're going to get to show off your flowers that you made, okay? And whenever you're presenting it to your friends, you get to say, this is the flower, and the flower does this, and this is the stem, and the stem does this. So you're going to tell us each part of the plant and what it does, okay? All right. And then that's going to be really our last thing of the day, except for our wrap up. So here, I've just got a little recap of what we did that today. And then what I want you to do is I want you to click on this Padlet link. Give it a second to load. And when you make it to your Padlet, I want you to tell me one thing that you learned today or one thing that you found interesting. So all you're going to do is you're going to go right down here. You see this little plus sign? We're going to click right here and you're going to type in something that you found interesting or something that you learned. So again, I did a little example for you. I wrote, I learned that leaves don't take in water, roots do. Okay, so just one little thing that you learned from today's lesson. Okay, and then I also included a couple of different links for you for if you want to practice your new skills after class today, or maybe tomorrow, or the next day, whenever your little heart desires it. So the first thing is a game. I'm going to wait for that to load. I'm going to open this one up while it's loading. Maybe. We're going to give it just a second. Miss Wojcinski's computer does not want to load anything right now. Well, anyhow, hopefully it'll load on your computer, but the first game lets you drag the names of the parts of the plant onto the picture of the plant. And then the second game is kind of like a trivia game. So it's going to ask you questions about the different parts of the plant. And for each question that you get right, you get to earn points. It's super, super fun. So after today's lesson, if you think that you want to play one of those games, it's right there for you. Okay? All right. Well, you guys can go ahead and get started right here up at the top. Now remember, see how I put step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4? You have to go in order, okay? It's really important that you follow the order of the lesson today, okay? So start with step 1, then you'll go to step 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then last but not least, you have your Padlet, okay? All right. Well, good luck, friends, and have a great day.